Hey guys, happy Lionsgate portal. I was doing a reading for myself this morning. Actually, it's what I do every morning when I'm doing my metaphysical work, just to kind of get me focused and balanced for the day. And I started pulling cards, and it was totally jiving with what I absolutely needed to hear. It was confirmation for everything that I've been thinking about, certainly in the last few days. And then it occurred to me as the womb and the healer came out, Starseed, the golden children, that, you know what? This message isn't just for me. This is for our collective. And so, there are a bunch of people out there right now that are empathic star seeds, golden children, indigo, rainbow, crystal, like whatever you identify with, whatever you embrace. There's a bunch of people out there right now that are doing the healing work and are going to be helping others heal. And so I thought to myself, why am I keeping all of this to myself? Why am I not sharing this with the larger collective so that maybe someone else needs to hear this message? Because I think, whether you're a healer or not, the messages were actually pretty awesome. They could apply to anybody. So here I am. I jumped on. I didn't even edit out the birdcage. Should I flip up and show you guys? I don't want you to see my messy house. There's my son's little bird, Jack. There he is. So yeah, I want you guys to be able to see the cards. And I didn't want to cut him out because he loves to hang. He gets so lonely. Uh, so he's so quiet too. So anyways, yeah, exactly. Sometimes he chats. So yeah, so that's what this video is about today. I'll probably also post it on my other social media sites, but in either in shorter form or even through slides or something like that on Insta for those who would rather read it. Anyways, let's get started. Let's not waste any more time. So, with empathic starseed and the golden children coming out right back, if some of you are feeling a bit drained today, feeling not quite like yourself, I know for me it's fatigue. Rarely is it agitation anymore, but the fatigue really gets to me some days, and I ask myself, like, where is this coming from? I slept well, I've been eating better. I'm hearing for some of you to watch your diet too. Processed foods, try to avoid them or minimize them, because that can affect your energy. But in any event, if some of you are feeling off kilter and you're not too sure why, just remember that, you can be a bit of an energetic sponge to others. There's some mirroring going on here too. So just be really careful that, you protect your energy through whatever way that looks for you. Maybe I'll do a video about that actually. Let me write that down. See, that's what these things are all about. This is why I encourage you to spend time with yourself. If you've got your own cards, or just even watching readers that resonate with you, to get these kind of ideas along the way. We can all learn from each other, right? So let's just do one on protect your energy, because I talk about that a lot in my personal readings especially. I'm just going to keep that piece of paper there. You guys don't mind, right? Kind of informal today. That's just how I roll today, I guess. So yeah, so be careful, protect your energy, and I'll make a video about that if you're not certain about, what that looks like, if you're fairly new to this stuff. If you're not new to this stuff, you'll know what works for you. I think it's just a reminder to remember to do that, when you leave the house, if you're going to be around larger groups of people, or people that are going through a significant amount of suffering of their own, or stress, that sort of thing. For a lot of you right now, you have a special gift that you need to be sharing with people, okay? This has to do something with inner child work, with the feminine, because the feminine showed up consistently throughout the oracle cards. When we talk about feminine energy, this is yin energy, masculine energy, yang energy, right? Shadow, light. Again, it's whatever you embrace, whatever you identify with, whatever resonates with you. in any event, you do have a gift, and you know, it, it's almost like, again, when you see this card, it's like people being called to the light. It's like all of these people moving forward, and I feel like it's healers moving forward in the world and being like, we've got to create change here. Like something needs to change. The world is changing, and um I personally feel that it's changing for the better. And there's a lot of ways that we can embrace the light of the world. I know there's a lot of anger and violence out there as well. That is the reality of it. But I don't know that it's as pervasive as people think it is, or if that's just what we see on media and that's what sells. And, again, I can go into a whole different video about that, just about, social media in general. I will say this morning, I also got a message that turn the media off. Okay. So if it's news, I would turn it off. If it's negative stuff happening on social media, unsubscribe, turn that off. If it's fear stuff, things that are making you feel scared of the world or uncertain and all of this stuff, turn it off. And if you are going to tune in to stuff like this, right? Tune in to stuff that makes you feel good, that focuses on all of the good things that are happening in the world, right? If you want to flip on and watch the headlines from time to time, that's fine. I mean, I guess we could, stay checked into the world, but I often wonder, was the world not a better place when we didn't have access to the world 24/7, right? Where, it was just kind of our own little universe, and we found out things as they happen, and we could handle that in small little bites versus always, or potentially always being bombarded with all the negative things in the world. So bit of a rant there, guys, but I'm just really speaking from the heart today and kind of just channeling whatever is coming through for whoever may need to hear it, in any event. So with this, because you are empathic, because you have these gifts, because you are probably actually a very tender person, there's an innocence about you. I would not say naivety, but innocence for sure, because you have this beautiful light. It's very important, like I said, to protect it, but to also ground yourself, okay? And we'll talk about grounding in another video too, because that's something I noticed it's coming up a lot in the personal readings and just day-to-day conversations, is how to ground energy, right? So the first card out was definitely connect to Gaia, and I've been pulling this card more than once this week for myself. Again, I'm just saying, like, get out in nature, get outside, right? It's this idea of like, it's good for you. You connect to yourself, your higher self, when you are outside. So get to it. It's really that simple. It grounds you. It kind of discharges, I think, some of that negative gunk that gets attached to us through, various things. Some of you might have a favorite spot that you like to go. I think it's best to do this alone, sometimes when we take others along with us, their energy can kind of muddy it up. And so there's nothing wrong with being alone. Being alone sometimes is a good thing. It allows us to recharge. It allows us to quietly reflect. It can be quite uncomfortable for some people because they're not used to being by themselves and with their own thoughts. But I feel like this group is well aware of the benefits of it, and you embrace that, but you're just not doing enough of it, or it's gotten away from you somehow. Some of you also might have gone away this past weekend, out into nature, might have been a bit of a cloudy day or a rainy day, but you're like, screw it, I'm still going. And this is kind of like, I always get like spirit from applause. I hear and I see them clap. This is always like this, like, well done, like, yes, you did it. So someone was listening to their intuition. It wasn't me. So congratulations to whoever you are. With the healing waters, again, I know for myself, I love water. I'm terrified of it. I don't do well in it, if I'm in the middle of a lake or ocean or something. but you don't have to be, okay? And so again, if you're living in a big city and you don't have a lot of access to water, it's just this idea of take a bath, you know, even throw some water on your face if you're at work and feeling out of balance and like you just need to ground and get back into your body. Some of you might be doing trauma work or have done trauma work, so I won't get into too much of that today because it's not really what the reading was about. So, but I just felt inclined to mention that a bit. And perhaps there's things you learned in therapy that you can do to help, center yourself and bring yourself back in to your body. So, yeah, so that can look like having a bath, taking a shower. That could be going to a little pond or a larger river, a larger body of water, just something. Okay, there's something for some of you, you just need to cool off. And just again, it's like this sense, I'm just getting like, get back into your body, grounding, get back into your body. Okay, so whoever needs to hear that, that's for you. The womb and the healer. So the womb really talks about the feminine energy, yet again, that yin energy. But what's interesting is in the next oracle deck, by the same artist, Kim Kranz. I love her, guys. If you don't have her decks, I'd really recommend getting them. Her cards are gorgeous. They are amazing, but her guidebooks are even better. Like, they just hit every time. I can't think of a reading that I've either done for myself or another person where it hasn't resonated. They're just amazing. But anyways, the sun is masculine energy. And I also thought it was interesting because today is Lionsgate portal, Leo, the sun, right? So there's this real idea of balancing the masculine with the feminine, okay? And just being kind and gentle with yourself, knowing when to push forward in your life, whether this is career or relationships, self-improvement, whatever you're doing. Please be mindful of balancing the masculine and feminine energies, okay? And I'll do a video about that too. For those of you out there that are healers, that are light workers and stuff like that, I really encourage you to record yourself doing readings for yourself, because oftentimes as you talk, it almost acts like a form of distraction for you, and you'll find that you can generate ideas so that you can actually receive the messages a little more easily, a little more clearly. It seems awkward at first. Trust me, when I first started doing readings 2 years ago, on YouTube, it was so choppy, so awkward. I was like, but the more I've done it, and certainly if I've gotten away from it for a week or two and I get back into it, it's that same clumsiness, but it really comes back quite quickly. The insights that you can gather from it really are valuable, and sometimes even more valuable than listening to other readers, not to shoot myself in the foot. But, if you are looking at doing this on your own, it can provide some valuable insights while, you're reading. And there's just something about saying it out loud on camera that, I don't know, just seems to facilitate it. So oftentimes this is how I come up with ideas about what I'm going to channel next or read about next or do a video on, is just walking through this and being like, oh yeah, like that's good. Let's talk about that. Let's spread the news around that. Okay. So, sorry guys, lots of sidetracking in here, but I promise you, especially when I'm speaking, to the masses sort of thing, that it means something to someone. So please be patient, because someone could be getting something from this that maybe you aren't, but maybe in a few minutes you'll get something you need. So in any event, patience, right? So balancing masculine and feminine energies, right? And so the sun is really cautioning us to, wait, should I be doing right now, or should I be receiving? Should I be taking a break? Should I be resting today, or for this hour or the next 10 minutes? And, what is productivity? What does productivity look like? Is rest not also productive? I talked about that because one of my Insta posts, I did a pick a crystal reading, and, one of the readings actually spoke directly to that, was that rest and play is just as productive as doing, an activity. So again, I can't say it enough times, balancing the masculine with the feminine and being gentle with yourself. Some of you need to practice self-compassion. I feel like you're probably very compassionate towards others, but what about yourself? I'm hearing, okay? It's something quite frequent that I see with those healing energies. Now, there is something with the healer. What did I see? Oh, as I was going through it. Yeah, this idea is, again, I feel like this is for my group that considers themselves to be healers. There's something to be said with healing not being like a linear journey and never being done. Okay, so we are always healing, and a good healer, a good I don't want to say shaman, that's I don't know if appropriation's the word, but when you call yourself a shaman, that's pretty serious business, and you better be able to back that up. There's a big difference between shaman and shamanic practitioner, and tread lightly there for sure. So kind of gets my goat a little bit. But in any ways, mystics, healers, what have you, a good one will always know that they're always working on themselves. They're always, walking between light and shadow, right? And that's just part of the journey. That's part of what helps us learn. There's something here about 3. Yeah, it's almost like splitting off. It's almost this idea of everything's connected, right? So, you could be focusing on one thing in general, and 2 more things are going to come off of that lesson, if you will. And, snakes are all about transformation, about change, about regeneration, right? And so it's this ever seeking, ever knowing, patient, persistent. It's just letting go and letting, it flow. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. I just feel that there's some pretty passionate feelings behind that healer card. I'm getting like some of you may need to work on your first chakra too, especially if you notice yourself being a bit inflamed around something or feeling angry, feelings of agitation and that sort of thing rising up. I'd encourage you to work around mother wounds, your feminine wounding, or being out of balance with the feminine energy. You might have a little bit too masculine right now, and there's a call here to work on first, maybe even second chakras as well. Okay. Mystical Sister, I'm saving the best for last. I had to laugh when I got this card out because I was shuffling, and on the split was Mystical Sister, and I was like, ooh, I've never seen that card before. I was like so excited. I was like, oh, I'd love to get that card and to see what it's all about. But of course, like most of the time I'll only take cards that jump. So I was shuffling and I picked up all of the cards, and this one was obviously like flipped over on the bottom, and flipped it over because it was the lone card that was left once I picked them all up. And sure enough, it was Mystical Sister. So I was like, fine, I'll take that as confirmation. That card is definitely mine. This card speaks of somebody in your life who you've probably had a connection with in the past, if not a past life, in this life. Some sort of experience that bonded or bonds the two of you. Okay. This card is all about, she describes it as witnessing and listening. So this person in your life, or perhaps you're being called to embody these traits, would never judge you. They don't try to fix you. They're not trying to give you advice left, right, and center. It's almost like they're just present with you, watching you, listening to you, and just almost supporting you energetically. It is one of the most beautiful relationships you could ever have. I actually have a few in my life, I have to say, and I am so, so grateful for these people. And I've had many shared experiences with them, and in very different capacities. It doesn't just have to be love, it can be friendship, it can be work colleagues. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what that looks like. And in fact, the book talks about people that have passed on you can have this connection with. So again, honoring somebody that's in your life like this, spirit reminding us that there are people like this around us, either here or over in spirit, or calling on you to be this to people in the world, and even towards yourself, not judging yourself, not trying to fix something that's broken. This idea that we're broken, right? False. And being too masculine. You should, you can't, like that kind of language, right? So many, many meanings behind that gorgeous card. I'm so glad it presented itself to me. Again, there we go. So then I wanted to pull some tarot hurt. I'm just gonna move this here. It's kind of hard to see because the light in these cards are so shimmery and beautiful, but goodness, I don't think I'm going to be able to get all of them on. I wonder if I should move these guys over, actually. The tarot cards, I'm going to tell you right now, did not disappoint at all. Sorry guys, it's just I'm trying to watch what I'm doing on camera. Yeah, there we go, guys. That's better. Okay. So for some of you, and this is where it starts to get more into the 2D ego land, if you will. I'm just going to leave this guy up here because that's important to note. Yeah, but it's all good. So what I first got when I got the King of Cups out here, sorry guys, the lighting just sucks. Like, let's just see if I turn this on, it's a little bit better. Oh, it's so bright. It's all about the message, right? So anyways, with the King of Cups, I feel like for some of you, this could be your mystical sister in here. It's important to note that, you know, it could be a feminine, but it doesn't always have to be a girl. Just because it says sister, it doesn't have to be girl. I feel like some of you may have a male influence in your life who's just a really loving person. They're very giving. King of Cups is somebody that they're very emotionally mature. They're really in tune with themselves, but they're not always going to be able to express that well, but they are very graceful when they do. This person is very poised and graceful and just really salt of the earth, I'm hearing. You know, it could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or they have that in their chart. But again, I really do tend to focus more on the energies of a card versus, you know, a sun sign, you know, because when you look at our astrological charts, don't know lots about astrology, but I can tell you when you break down your chart, there's a lot of components that matter. Well, quite honestly, they all matter, right? So some of your biggies are going to be your sun, moon, rising, Venus, right? So we're so much more than our sun signs. So not going to do a video on that because again, you know, astrology is not really my wheelhouse. I just know enough to kind of touch on it and go. So Ace of Pentacles here really talks about a new opportunity that has presented in your life or that you're trying to bring into fruition. But for some of you with that Hangman energy, there's something that's stopping you and pulling you back. Okay, there's something that's, I'm feeling like for some of you could be spooking you with this Six of Swords and you're moving away from it. Almost like you're getting all kind of caught up in your thoughts and you're like, I can't, you know, should I? And no, stop, wait, right? It's just like this sense of indecision, and you know, it's coming from the head, it's coming from the heart. You're trying to follow your heart, but it's just like there's so much confusion, there's so many distractions, and I think for some of you it's even like your ego getting in the way, and you know, there's some doubt here. Are you sure about this? You really want to do that? You know, are you ready for this? And it's like almost like the angel and the devil on your shoulder is the kind of energy that I'm picking up. And all this does is it just drives worry, it drives anxiety, it makes you feel locked. And again, for some of you, you're so up in your head that you're just in this stalemate, because I just, with these swords interlocking, it's kind of like a log jam, if you will, and nothing's getting done. And I'm just hearing metal go like it's like someone's feeling really stuck. Okay, I feel like some of you just need to cool it and to take some time out and to reflect on what drives you, what makes you feel passionate with this decision here. Okay. And I think once you do that, once you step back for some time in nature, probably, or again, around water and around people that make you feel good and that aren't drawing on your energy, you're going to be able to come to a conclusion and make a decision that's in your best interest. And it's almost like I can move forward now, right? Because the beautiful thing about this is the last card that I got out was the Magician. And so with this energy of stepping back, taking time apart. And obviously, for all of you, it's going to be in nature. And again, go to a park. If you live in a city and you don't have, like, you know, a lot of green space, or you don't even have a backyard, that sort of thing, just find something, find a tree for goodness sakes and sit under it, you know, at a bus stop or something, you know, something. Get creative with it, guys. Sit in front of a plant if you must, or even look at imagery of plants and stuff like that. The mind is a very clever machine, and there's actually been research that shows when we surround ourselves with even pictures of nature, that we can kind of immerse ourselves in that moment. So in any event, if some of you heard, like, you know, but I can't, but nope, nope, find a way to do this. Okay, you can, you absolutely can. Magician, right? We create, we manifest that which we want. We can bring things into fruition. And I just love this energy for you. It's almost like you've got all the tools you need. You need to move forward with this. You need to get this done, right? Yeah, we got the Tower, the Sun, the Knight of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the Five of Swords. I'm just hearing, use your pain, use the tragedy in your life, use this to bring light into the world, the Sun card here, to bring illumination, to bring hope to people that are maybe in the midst of what you have gone through in life. You know, be a guiding light. There are many guiding lights out there, and we'll find each other just as we should. But yeah, I can feel the energy kind of like drifting away, guys, which is always my cue to wrap it up, that the messages have come through as they were intended. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope some part of this was useful for you. Have a wonderful, wonderful August 8th, and we'll see you around. Take care. Bye.